Hi everybody, it's Holland. So this is the video, guys. This is the one that you've all been waiting for. How does it feel? Yeah, me too. Anyway, this is me answering all of your Walt Disney World questions that you have sent me on my Instagram, and I've been avoiding making this video for about 3 years. It's crazy, it's a long time. So I guess before I get started, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what my journey at Walt Disney World as a cast member looked like. So I wanted to work at Disney probably since I knew working at Disney World could be a job. So I was probably around 14 when I decided I wanted to be a performer at Walt Disney World. Of course, I wanted to hang out with some princesses, you know, help Pluto or something. And that was a lifelong dream forever. So I decided to really go after it. And I went to 3 auditions before I got hired into entertainment at Disney. And yeah, so I went to 3 auditions and eventually I finally got it. I started with my girls in about December 2017 and continued up until this last year. So I've worked there full time for about 3 years, give or take a little bit, and it's been incredible. So my original plan with the company was to stay for 1 year, and I stayed for about 3. So obviously plans change, and luckily my family was supportive and wanted what I wanted and thought it was a great idea. So I stayed for about 3 years because I kept getting new opportunities, and I'm so thankful for all of those because I can't imagine how my life would be if I didn't get to do those things. And you know, your experiences help you become the person you are, and I am so happy with where I am right now. Yada yada yada, the whole story. Maybe I'll do a whole different video on that, but that's just like a quick thing. So I'm gonna answer some questions that I got. Of course, character integrity is very important, keeping that. I'm not gonna give away like all these secrets, like cast members, they're for you. It's a special thing that we want to keep to ourselves. You know, it's just like anything else. So sorry if I don't answer your question, but I still love Disney and I'm not going to spoil it for all of you people. I have them pulled up on my computer, and I'm going to just go down them from top to bottom. I really haven't looked at these very much, so they might be weirdly out of order. I was going to take the time to just put them in like a makes sense order, but that just sounds like a lot of unnecessary things that I have to do, and I'm in the middle of finals, so don't want to do that. Okay, so the most asked question I probably got was, who was my favorite friend to spend the most time with? And this is such a hard question for me. It used to be really easy for me to answer, but all my girls are so different that it's really hard for me to pick. But I liked spending the most time, I spent most of my time with Elsa when I was there over the last 3 years, and I think she might be my favorite. It's just really cool to see how little kids act around Elsa, because Elsa and Anna are their entire world, you know? Like growing up, I loved Sleeping Beauty, but like I feel like 90s babies all loved like Ariel and Belle and all these people, but this is like Anna and Elsa's time to shine. And so I think seeing all the kids react the way they do to Elsa is definitely one of the reasons she's one of my favorites to spend time with. So another question is, would you go back to the company if they asked? So I'm always open to going back, but I don't think I will be full-time ever again. I liked the option of seasonal because I could still live in Atlanta where my family and my boyfriend and all the important things to me are, so I could live in Atlanta but still work there seasonally, and that was such a great option for me. But right now I'm not sure they're going to bring back a seasonal, especially because all of the unknowns that are going on right now. So I won't live in Florida again full-time. So it kind of depends on what the company decides to do, I guess. This is probably one of my favorite questions. What do you wish guests knew when meeting characters? Like what not to say / do? I think I wish that people knew that you can just talk or just stand there and listen. But if the characters ask you a question, respond. Because I think the most frustrating thing in anybody's life, I know even just me, when I ask a question and everybody's just like, that drives me crazy. So if Elsa asks you if you like to build snowmen, don't just stare at her like you're scared. Answer the question. And if you say no, then she'll just keep talking. Anna and Elsa and everybody else know exactly what to do if you don't talk, but I like conversations. Everybody likes having a conversation with people, you know? So somebody asked about equity performers, and I don't really know much about equity. It's a completely different entertainment field than I am in. They asked if they were treated equally, and I'm gonna go with probably. I mean, equity has a different union, I'm pretty sure, but I have no idea. But I'm gonna go with, yeah, I feel like I've worked with a couple equity performers and know some that are my good friends, and they like their job just as much as I do. On a scale to 1 to 10, how much do I miss Disney? 10 out of 10. Definitely miss Disney. It was weird when nobody could go, but now that I'm like here and all my friends are still going and just like being in that atmosphere, it makes me sad. I miss it. So a lot of people are also really confused about us seasonal people and other people not working at Disney anymore. So we didn't get fired. We got let go. So we got let go because of COVID. I don't like to look at it as they fired me, because that's just not true, because if COVID wasn't a thing, I would still have my job. So we were let go, and we don't know if we're gonna be able to come back. As of right now, it doesn't look that way, but I don't speak for the company, so they could do whatever they'd like. So as of right now, none of us are really coming back, but you never know. This question says, did working for Disney ruin the magic, or did it make it even more magical? So I think this is a yes and no, like yes and no. It made it more magical because I got to see the behind the scenes and see how everything works. And I think that really was how the whole magic of the company flows. It's just so impressive, and getting to be close with all these different characters and all these people who love it just as much as you do definitely makes it more magical. But of course, I did work there, so it's like whenever I would go to the parks, it'd be like going to my workplace. I got over that pretty quickly, but I know some people that like really bothered. Is it true that being friends with a character is like Mean Girls? No, I don't think so. Have you guys seen that, like the Mean Girls trailer, but like with Disney princesses? It's so funny. You have to look it up. I might put it in the link it down below, because it is just the funniest thing ever. I remember watching that when I was like 15. I'm like, I hope this is not how it is. So I'm gonna go with no. Makeup brand that I used while working at Disney World was literally things that you just buy at Ulta. Some things were provided, of course, but I mean, the foundation I use is just the best one that works with my skin that I buy whenever. And I use the face tape right now, so I'm assuming that's probably the thing I use the most when I work there. Somebody asked what my best advice for someone who wants to audition one day would be, and I would just say that you just need to smile and be confident in yourself, because it's a entertainment company and they are looking for confidence, and it's Disney World, so be happy. Yeah. I'll probably make an audition video. I know auditions aren't really going on right now, but and I'm sure they're gonna change from how I did it 3 years ago. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing that. This question's kind of funny. It says, how many times did you end up watching Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Frozen? A lot, but also I am the biggest Disney nerd, so I'd get home from hanging out with Elsa and I'd put on Frozen because I loved it so much. Some people didn't do that because they just like wanted to break from it, and sometimes I did too, but of course I just wanted to watch them all the time. So I've probably watched all of them probably over 500 times. I'm just not even kidding. Did you have to audition more than once? I did. Some people don't. I know people who have auditioned 20 times and finally get it. I know people who auditioned once and got it. I auditioned 3 times and got it. I got kept till the very end at all 3 of my auditions. I got waitlisted at one it just wasn't time. I think I wasn't old enough. I was 17. I went to my first audition when I was 17, which you're supposed to be 18, but I didn't listen. But it worked out. So I get asked this question a lot, and I did not do the Disney College program. I went straight out of high school and just worked there full time. A lot of people thought I was a college program student, I don't know. And I wasn't. It was just, I was in that age group the whole time I was there, so people a lot of the time thought I was. What is your advice for moving to a different state? Honestly, I look back and I just can't believe I actually did it. I have no family, I had no friends in Florida, like nothing. When I moved down, I didn't even have a place to live. I like rented out a condo for 2 weeks. Yeah, I think you just gotta go for it. Definitely having my family support made it a lot easier, and of course I only moved 1 state away, so I was only about 7.5, 8 hours from home, so my parents could be there quickly if I needed them. But it was definitely hard. I was definitely very open to meeting new people and trying new things, and I think it went really well. But I obviously moved back to the state I originally came from, so I like Georgia more. Sorry. If I had a last day, which one of my friends would I choose to spend the day with? That's a hard question. Elsa. Probably Elsa. In the summer who's with Anna, and I would just like to sit there and watch her talk to everybody. Because you haven't seen a kid excited until you see a little girl talking to Elsa and Anna. Yeah. I thought I knew excitement, but there's no excitement that is higher than a little 5-year-old girl squealing when she sees Elsa. So I think that is a very humbling and special moment to spend with her. I loved when Aurora and Cinderella were with their princes. I loved hanging out with them when there was Prince Charming or Prince Philip. It was so much fun. I like the lovey-dovey. I'm super romantic. I'm a hopeless romantic. So seeing fairy tales come to life like that and how excited some people get around them, it's so much fun. It's so fun. All the princes were always so sweet. So I had great experiences with them, and I really just like dancing. That's the best part. That's what everybody wants to do. So this question is, do I have any idea when the company will be hiring again? No, but I have a feeling it'll be a while. They don't have a need for anybody right now, especially with them transferring people from different departments into different things. I think it'll be a while. I think things will have to get really back to normal and be that way for a bit before everybody gets like restocked. What was it like to be friends with Rey? Rey was so cool. She is one of my favorite Disney characters. I know she's like Star Wars, but technically Disney owns Star Wars, so she's one of my favorite Disney characters. It's really fun to watch Rey interact with people because grown men freak out when they see Rey. And that's different. That doesn't happen with usually anybody else, because young kids like Elsa and Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella, and guys are excited too, but seeing a grown man, literally freak out when Rey just like wanders on by is very funny. Favorite Elsa song is Show Yourself. Yep, for sure. Cried very hard when I saw that part. Would I ever see myself doing an international contract? I actually went to a Hong Kong, Shanghai audition. I went to one. I really wanted Hong Kong because that contract's only 6 months long and that seemed doable. Shanghai did not seem doable. I would have to have like a really good friend going with me in order to feel comfortable going to Shanghai for like 12, I think it's over 12 months. I don't even know how long it is, but I did consider it. I really did want it. I got kept to the end of that audition, but it was around Halloween time and I'm not tall enough for Halloween things. So how did I switch from merchandise to entertainment? So when I first moved down to Orlando, I worked 2 months in entertainment at Mouse Gear at Epcot, and I loved it. I was part-time then, and so I just switched. It was actually very easy. I went to an entertainment audition in October and got it, then switched over to full-time. So there really wasn't a lot to the process unless I like blocked out the hard parts in my brain, but I don't think I did. Yeah, it was actually very easy. So I just went to an audition and they switched me over. If I could tell my past self one thing going into this, what would it be? I'm assuming going into working at Disney is what you're asking. I would probably tell myself that it's going to be harder than you think it is. I knew it was going to be a challenge because I had talked to other people who have done the job before, and I knew it was going to be mentally and physically exhausting. So it was a challenge. That was like my first real job, and as a 18-year-old moving to a different state and living and working full-time on my own was very hard. So it was very challenging, but eventually, just like anything, you get in a routine, you start figuring it out. And the first couple months were hard because I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and you know, you have your bad days, but it was definitely more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. I get this question all the time, and it doesn't even have to be because of Disney, but the question is, do I regret taking a gap year for Disney? I took 3 gap years, so technically I just took 3 years off. Sometimes I say I took 3 gap years, and my mom's like, that's wrong. You can't say that. And I'm like, okay. So I took 3 years off of school, and I just went back, like literally just went back this past semester, and I do not regret it at all. Like, if you're not ready, or if you have something that you want to do, go do it. Because especially right now, like, I am so thankful that God blessed my timing with working at Disney, because I would have been graduating college around now and wanting to do it, and COVID's here, so I wouldn't have been able to do that. So me taking this gap year or these 3 years off was really just the biggest blessing, because I can't see that far into the future, and that definitely just proves my point right there. Like, if you want something, go do it now. Go after it now, because it's not going to just wait around for you, and something like a global pandemic could happen. You never know. You never know. So I'm getting a lot of questions about the hiring process and experience, and I'm gonna include that in like an audition video because that all kind of goes together. So yeah, I'll do that there. So I promise I'll answer those because I can't answer those, but that'll be in a separate video. And also there are like some really specific questions that I will not be answering because they could break character integrity, and I don't want it to come across that way that I am doing that. So I love these questions though. You guys are very interested and very devoted, and I love that you're into it because this is how into it I was too. Someone asked me about the DVC. I don't know anything about the DVC. That's the Disney Vacation Club. I have some friends whose parents have it, and it seems cool. There's cool events that you get to go to and meet cool characters that all of us are very jealous of. But I'm sure it's worth it. Honestly, anything Disney is worth it to me. So if you were taking my advice, I'd say do it. Just do it. Okay, so the last question is, what was my favorite interaction / conversation that I had with a guest? So while I was friends with Elsa, there was this little girl, and she ran up to Elsa very quickly and had something very important to tell her. And she said, Elsa, 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 I just need to make sure that you are not sad. Like, don't worry, your parents are in heaven. And of course, Elsa was like, okay. Because, like, come on. But the little girl's, I can't believe that she just was so worried about that. And then she continued to say, my papa just passed away, and I am not sad because I know he's watching over me in heaven, and I'm sure that's what your parents are doing with you and your sister. So don't be sad. This little girl, all she wanted to know and make sure that Elsa knew that her parents were okay. And I just thought that is the sweetest thing in the entire world, because that must have been like a really big, heavy conversation in that household. And that is what this little girl wanted to tell Elsa with the 3 minutes that she had with Elsa and Anna. And I just think that's the sweetest thing ever. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I answered all your questions to the best of my ability. Of course, I said I wasn't going to answer all of them. I want to keep some magic. But I'm glad you're curious. Curiosity is good. So I will be making an audition video sometime. Not quite sure when, but hopefully it'll be sooner than later. So if you have any more specific audition questions or anything, comment them below, or any other questions. I'll probably do more Q&As sooner than later. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good rest of your day.